So Royal Enfield have finally entered the modern age of liquid-cooled, powerful motorcycles. But can this new model compete in the very, very competitive Lambs market?
Okay, for me, first thumbs up is, and all Royal Enfields are like this, you literally jump on, turn the key, and ride away. Like, it's just an easy bike to ride. What do you guys think?
Yeah, typical Royal Enfield. Like, the second I started it, it was like, yep,
You
know how this works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What about you?
Royal Enfield don't make a bike that's hard to ride,
Yeah.
and that's their best quality.
And I'm guessing that's also something to do with the engine, because it's the same engine as the Hemi 450.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's powerful, it's liquid-cooled, it's made into a 6-speed box. We said this with the Hemi, and now the Gorilla's got it as well.
Yeah.
It feels very modern.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I like about this bike, though, isn't very modern, and it's the center stand. And a lot of companies just get rid of the center stand because it, I don't know, looks ugly, but you can't even tell this is on the bike. And it's an excellent feature. All bikes should have a center stand.
I think all chain bikes should have a centre stand.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's surprising that they don't. This one's got LED lights all around, which I think they look good, nice and bright. And keeping in line with the electronics, it's got that great clock with the tripper.
Offset.
Yeah, I've got a problem with that. but I think it's a good looking clock.
Yeah.
And it automatically switches between light and dark modes,
smooth.
which is something when we had the Hemi, I reckon it needed a firmware update or something because it wasn't doing that.
Oh.
And a few people commented on a few videos going, "Oh, you've got to just switch it so it goes between light and dark," because we had an issue with reflections.
Yeah.
Now, I did not have any issue with the clock on this one reflecting in harsh sunlight.
I did.
I didn't. So happy days.
I don't care.
So in terms of the colours, I think that's probably one of my favourite things about this bike is it's just bright, it's poppy, it's modern.
Funky.
And I think like finally it's something that, I don't know, it's just like new and exciting rather than just like, here's a black motorbike. I really liked it. I think of the 3 colourways, this one, the yellow and purple, is my favourite.
I liked it.
How about you?
I like the yellow and purple, but my
Yeah.
favourite was definitely the blue and white one. I think that just looked
Yeah,
great. And I
it does
particularly
look
loved the blue wheels on that one. I think they looked awesome.
Yeah, and Lucas?
I like the black, yellow, and purple. It looks like a passion
Yeah.
fruit with wheels.
Yeah.
All 3 colours look good.
Yeah.
And it's hard as a manufacturer to get all 3 colours to look good. Normally one's a stinker or 2 are a stinker and one's the go-to.
Yeah.
With this, they're all good.
They're fun colourways. They're funky and fun, which probably goes after the demographic that Royal Enfield think they're going after with this bike, being a younger sort of demographic. Yeah, kind of works. So I found it really easy to ride in traffic. Probably one of the easiest bikes I've ever ridden in traffic, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
it's
like-
up there.
Yeah, definitely. And that comes down to the suspension, the handling, but also the engine.
And the weight.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a light bike.
Yeah.
Great seating position. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, and I think one key thing there as well, the brakes. You sacrifice bite for modulation on the rear brake, and that gets you commuting really comfortably.
Yeah.
The handling's great too. I mean, you can really come into a corner with some speed.
Absolutely.
It handles itself. The seating position's comfortable, but it's sporty. And I'm very tall. It's not cumbersome.
Yeah.
It's a small bike, but it's not cumbersome, which results in like, you know, it's very
flickable.
confidence expiring.
Like you can flick it round and just throw it round.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, the handling was excellent. Excellent in traffic, excellent in the twisties.
Agreed.
And the other thing about this, and it's probably the other main thing that I love, is the price. It's $8,500.
Yeah.
I do like the price.
Yeah.
The price is excellent.
Yeah.
The Triumph is only $400 more.
Do you think I haven't ridden the Triumph, but do you really think it's a better bike?
They're extremely competitive.
Yeah.
Whether or not one is better than the other,
You're talking about the Speed 400.
the Speed 400,
Yeah,
not the
okay.
400X, which
Okay.
needs a better name.
Yeah.
They should have workshopped with a better name.
Yeah. Like a gorilla.
Or a Himalayan. That's a really cool name. Himalayan.
Himalayan.
You guys both said it wrong.
We
in
did.
our bike of the year.
We did. Anyway. But yeah, $8,500 for this bike. I think it's an absolute bargain.
Yeah, it's great.
Very competitive.
Okay, so the first issue that I had with this bike was the clutch and a little bit of the engine, which I know is weird because it's like your favorite thing about the bike, but I just found that I was like over revving it so much because that clutch release point was really far
Yeah,
out.
it was a long way out.
But that just meant, I don't know if that was to do with also the acceleration was quite twitchy, that it was over revving every time I was trying to switch gears. I did eventually get used to it after like maybe a week and a half of riding it. I found like that sweet spot, but it just felt like a little bit too much effort, and it was just a frustrating part of the ride.
See, I did not find that at all.
And I've never found that on any other bike though. That's why I found it weird. But you guys didn't find it at all?
I rode a different bike to you guys. And I think in the pre-delivery, they're setting their friction point out further in the lever's travel. It kind of helps if you're learning. Maybe it just needed a bit of adjustment.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
you know, funny enough, I didn't really have a problem with the clutch. I didn't really use it because the gearbox is so good. You just click, once you set off, you just click through the gears. You don't even need to use the clutch. Or else you're looking at me like I've killed your son or something.
I used the clutch, yeah.
And you liked it.
Yeah, no, I had no problem with the clutch at all.
Right.
Wait, but it's not a quick shifter.
No, you just click through.
Oh.
It's not my bike.
It's a bit of a weird one, but rider modes. This bike does not need rider modes. I don't know why it has rider modes. But having said that, you liked the fact that it had rider modes because it seemed to smooth out that clutch issue.
I didn't mind eco mode. I didn't notice a significant difference between what was the mode? It was like performance
and eco.
Performance and eco. I just found that eco maybe just smoothed out the acceleration in first and the second. So maybe that just made it a little easier than with that clutch getting used to. But then it seemed to dull out third.
Yeah,
which
probably
was weird.
probably would.
Yeah. So yeah, wasn't great.
I had no issues with the I left it in performance, which is not really performance. It's just a road mode. I think it's hilarious that it actually has rider modes.
Well, the switch block was interesting too. Like, did you have an issue with the switch block?
They have that fiddly joystick. I just find it's very, it's not tactile at all.
Yeah, couldn't tell
Sorry.
that you were pressing it at all.
No.
I got to be honest, I didn't even bother using it. I didn't bother switching any rider modes there, or that changes the clock and the trip meter and everything too.
Well, sorry, you're not missing out on much.
One time when I was doing it, I found a whole settings menu with the toggle once, and then I tried to
Never found
replicate it again, and I couldn't get to it. But there was a whole settings option of brightness and
Yeah.
So one thing I didn't love about this bike is those tires. I just found that they tracked a little bit when I was on freeways. I don't know, did you guys have that problem?
Not really.
Oh,
No.
maybe it was just me.
I found, particularly on the press bikes, and I'm not sure if this was by design or if this is how they're sold, and we were talking about this off camera, when we were riding the Guerilla, you could feel the tires get stickier as you got them hotter. I've ridden a lot of bikes where it's maybe you can feel a bit of a change, but this was obvious, night and day difference between cold tire and a hot tire. It was a hot day too, so great conditions for riding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it.
I didn't have any issues with the tyres.
Yeah.
But I also think it's probably, us having a little bit more weight on the bike as well.
Yeah.
Maybe it's sitting in the road a bit better. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Eating more cheese.
Gotta eat more cheese.
Now, the other thing, and we pointed it out when we had the Hemi, was the gear shift indicator thing
Yeah.
that tells you when to
Was
shift.
that the one that you couldn't see?
I couldn't see it. Now, I did see it on this one.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know if you guys saw the comments on that Himalayan video. People were saying, if you need a indicator to help you shift gears, you shouldn't be riding. It's not to tell you when to change gears. It's to tell you when it's the most fuel efficient
Right.
to change. That's what I think it is.
Okay.
Luckily, I could only see it when I had my glasses on, and I don't ride with glasses on, so I couldn't see it, so it didn't really worry me.
There's an easy fix.
Even if you're hitting limiter in every gear, you're going to use, a litre of extra fuel every 100 kilometres?
Because it is
such a small engine.
Because that's the other thing. It's really good on fuel.
Yeah.
It's insanely good on fuel, this bike.
So where the thumbs up of looks is definitely a highlight for this bike for me. There were aspects that does mark it down, and I think that came in the form of a lot of the decal was all stickers, which I get because it's
$8.5 bike.
it's a $8.5 bike, so I do understand it. But yeah, there were just some little areas, and the actual Guerilla 450 on the side, on both sides, looked a little it disappeared into the background on some of them. I don't know. It's just it's a small thing, but obviously the Royal Enfield purple on the side is an actual badge. But then everything else was stickers, so.
I mean, as I said, it's a budget bike, so it's got stickers, so be it.
I've got to pick some thumbs downs though.
I think you're nitpicking, Tegan.
I am nitpicking, 100%.
Inoffensive, easy to ride, comfortable, homely bike, 7 out of 10.
Yeah, nice.
I love that. That was so to the point.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
It's like the bike, straight to the point.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. I'll give it a 7 as well. I'll copy Lucas because I think, yeah, with the price as well and how easy it is to ride, and it's a great commuter bike, 7 seems fair.
And I'm going to go slightly higher because I thought it was a great little bike. I'm going to go an 8. I thought it was a fun little roadster. The power's not going to set the world on fire. We know that, but it's certainly enough.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I think Royal Enfield's really going after a younger market with this bike.
Yeah, with the colours.
With the colours and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
Yeah.
And as if I was looking for like a second bike, if I had a more expensive bike, like just say for me, if I had say a GS or something like that, this would make a great little second bike for someone in my age bracket.
You're still young, Miss.
Thanks, Tegan. And I don't think I'm alone there. I think there's a lot of older riders who would look at this and go, you know what, as a little roadster to poke around on, great little option.
Yeah.
So I think Royal Enfield, I know they're marketing it towards a younger market, but I think they're missing a thing. I think they could definitely market it towards the older riders as well.
Yeah.
The poke around bike is a very special category in our hearts, isn't it?
It is.
Because you have a run around bike.
I have my Meteor, I love it. Yeah, and it's one that I probably not do more Ks on than any bike, but I probably spend more hours on it than any bike I own because I commute on it.
Yeah.
And it's a great little thing to commute on, and it's it's easy to ride, it's great on fuel, it's light. I think that the budget bike, the poke around bike is a big segment. So this bike is not just for learners.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The Royal Enfield Guerilla is a great little urban roadster, but this playlist over here has a few more.